Hey.
Welcome.
Sad and gum.
It's a party. It's a party.
We have some Pokemon cards.
Yes.
We're gonna roll those out in just a little bit, but before we get to that one,
we have no idea.
We are going to do a ramen challenge.
Hey!
This is not the actual challenge.
This is practice for the challenge.
Practice week 2.
This is our training arc.
This is week 2 of practice.
Chapter 2.
We are setting this up.
Whoa,
and Bree is going to go ahead and now unveil
soy
exactly what kind of hot sauce, ramen it is.
I'm coughing it up.
And so, I was about to say that. But,
This one's like tickling my brain here.
Bulldog, artificial spicy.
Bulldog.
Oh my
gosh.
Oh, there's like a little chibi on there.
Oh,
that's how you know it's real.
His name is Hochi.
Hochi the chibi.
Oh.
Alrighty, so you can go ahead and take your spot again.
Hey, someone start the timer. Are we going for speed?
I'll do the timer.
So
wait, is it like?
I gotta take off my glasses.
Cheating?
Oh,
cheating
sorry,
ahead
no.
of the game?
Sorry.
All right,
all right.
Timer
going.
So it's a good time to go for speed.
Okay,
Sorry, I
let me-
can't
let me-
actually have a
let me-
timer going.
Really?
Just kidding now.
Wait,
Wait,
here,
wait,
wait.
Oh my God,
take
yes,
your
after
spot.
the
video-
Go ahead and take your spot.
Don't get it going.
I'm gonna
Matt,
like
watch
squeeze
out.
This one's
it really
spicy.
quick.
I just gotta sip with the pot.
Thank you.
Train coming through.
Alrighty.
A little taste. Fucking.
Okay.
Freaking hot, dude.
How does it feel so far based on that little taste?
I took a little taste.
This
Freaking
one's hot,
dude.
This one's hot. Yeah, this one's hot.
That's what you guys get for complaining.
Hell yeah.
And before real quick,
Good.
last thing
Hey.
before we dive into these
Thank
I'm
you.
a
super spicy bowls of ramen, I am joined this week by
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Jones, shout out.
Aaron Jones.
Kyle Murray. Whoa. That could be very controversial.
Contentious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But we have Kyler.
Nikki Overs.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
we
great.
always bet the
That's
over, by the
great.
way.
And
Yeah,
Drew
Gamble
behind
Overs
the-
Club.
Drew behind the camera.
Gamble
Nikki
responsibly.
Overs.
And
Nikki Overs.
we're gonna go ahead and start
Like
off
I said, ovaries.
our ramen challenge. You got the timer ready? Wait, hold on. Wait for the timer.
Oh.
Ready? I'll count you down.
He was on the
Let me know when you're
calculator.
ready. 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. All right. And once again, we are doing this in preparation for a ramen, a spicy
time on that
ramen
noodle.
competition here
This
in
one's
our
hot.
town.
Yeah.
We don't really know the details of the competition as of just yet, like exactly if it's going to be for
Yeah.
speed
But we're
or if
training.
it's for an amount. But
For speed
it's
or for
spicy.
But we're
ramen
training for
challenge.
everything.
So
I'm already
exactly.
sweating.
So we're training for everything.
Oh yeah, I can see
What's
it.
that?
I love the
Can
no
you-
sweat.
Can you please put on
Does it count
personas?
if they vomit?
Can you put on like
I don't
anime
know if that's
personas?
the rules.
Can you be Inosuke?
Personal
Can you be
rule
Tanjiro?
doesn't count.
Yes, yes. I will be.
But you have to yell
Inosuke.
like Oh, it's not Inosuke?
No, it's
So
a no
far,
sweat.
as you're watching this, Dom, who do you feel like is taking the current lead? Who do you feel like is
John.
tackling
From what
it
I can
well?
tell, I think. Oh, I don't know, because Matt's been eating chunks.
John is going for speed. Look at his bowl amount compared to Matt.
go
I think
for
John
speed or for
definitely
I
isn't
think John
in the
goes
lead.
for speed, but Matt goes for volume.
Endurance.
Is that a mistake to
Oh.
get a lot of the sauce in there? I don't know.
Yeah, well, the sauce
I'm not
is the
gonna
hottest
save
part.
That's right.
the sauce for last.
And
You're
most
not?
likely, I have a feeling in the challenge you're probably gonna have to drink the sauce.
But let me ask you this: are you willing to get lost in the sauce?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
No
That's
hesitation.
the first word he said in about.
Also,
20
That's
So
seconds
glad
or
that
so.
skip lunch.
Like,
please.
I hope Kate Dama watches this and realize how much we're actually putting into this, because from what I've heard, we haven't heard from them
Yeah.
Yeah.
since.
Tag him.
Tag him
Yeah,
on the gram.
We gotta put him on the spot.
They are gonna give us a 20-minute cap.
Oh.
Oh, all right.
No
So tag
cap?
him.
No
Actually,
cap?
We'll maybe we'll put some pressure on him and tell other people to
Yeah,
tag
like,
him
hey,
too and be
hey,
like,
what's
hey,
going on?
Like,
everybody get on,
hey,
like,
we're serious right now.
yeah, put
We're cereal.
down in the comments. Put at
Yeah.
Kidama.
Wow, the broth is good though.
And if you don't do the challenge, you
Copyright,
die, right?
yeah.
It's
But we can
like-
sing it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If you don't pass it,
You can
die.
sing
Look
it.
at, ooh, the
Oh,
sweat
the
on the
salad
brow.
is
That
hot.
ladies and gents.
The
That
salad is
is
so
on.
hot. Oh my god. The middle
He's going middle part.
Oh man,
Matt's
John's
got
going for
middle
the
part.
sauce now, and this is where he's struggling.
Hey Nick,
Woo!
I always tell Nick that I'm gonna cut grow it out, but
And then he ends up cutting it. It makes me so sad. So sad.
Oh, let's get that bowl
there's
check
some
in there.
new
All right,
action
John's
going.
getting
Yeah, there's some
action.
slurping.
Oh man, it's catching up real
There's some
hard. based on the,
slurping going on.
Based on the bowl. and
Oh,
the
touch the eyes,
no, be
touch the
careful
eyes.
with the eyes! Oh, be careful with the eyes!
Oh damn! But so far, Matt is catching up with those slurps. He's
Matt's a
taking
big.
a-
Oh, John,
a big
Jesus
lead.
Christ, dude!
I'm crying.
This
Oh,
one's spicy, dude.
boy.
That's what you guys get for
Nate,
complaining.
you still
No,
have
good,
another.
good.
You still have another level.
And for the record, next week is going to be hotter. I'm warning
Yeah.
you guys right now. Next week will be hotter.
Should we make him do chopsticks though?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
next week
so
for sure.
yeah, we do
Next
need
week
the
for sure.
chopsticks for sure next week. Like, no doubt.
Oh
But-
man, you guys are killing it.
He's already at the last of the
Holy
juice.
moly.
Matt still has a little bit of noodles. Oh,
So let's all right,
John's
lap.
pocket, right?
For John. John's the first lap. John's first lap. Anyone have a guess? B knows.
I know.
Dude, I'm like
Say-
crying
I
over here.
guess.
He's crying.
Based
oh
on the
my
time
It's
here,
God.
freaking hot,
I'm going to
dude.
say 340.
Less.
Get on my-
255.
the competition?
Oh,
going
dude!
on?
I forgot to mention. Oh, if you lose, Heather and John Cena are a couple.
Oh, wait,
That's
you mean
not
to get the
true.
kids?
That's cap. That's cap.
Oh.
That's cap.
No, it's
That's
not.
not-
It's not a cap.
Oh, Dom's putting it all on the
What was the time?
2 minutes and 55 seconds
54.
for
No.
John.
Oh.
And then
Matt
3 minutes and
was-
31 seconds for me.
Interesting. Ooh, interesting.
Dude, that was hot, dude.
I have
Alright.
a feeling you're gonna have to
This is
strategize.
the current.
Like
this
you
is
might
the
have to
current
just finish
aftermath.
all
This
the
is
like
where
soup
you
first,
lose.
and then just noodles after to
Ooh,
like.
maybe.
Because you figure the
No.
soup is gonna have the spice in it.
Well, yeah.
The only thing is that
Fuck, I need tissue.
like Matt did
There's
get
tissue behind Brie.
Matt
Yo,
did get a little bit more of like the spice.
Does anybody have milk?
Milk, actually.
Or bread?
Or just
And
something.
there's bread in the fridge. I think there's like 2 slices.
Yeah, there's also water if you want to get one for Matt, because Matt's also.
Oh, I gave him one, didn't I?
Water?
Did I give you one?
I don't know.
On your side?
Oh, on the side right there.
Oh. Ooh, train.
Yeah.
Grabbing cunt.
So after that
grabbing
one,
cunt.
after that first batch, how are you feeling,
Mustard.
Matt?
Mouthful
I'm
of
actually-
mustard.
Feeling good, because
No, that's gonna amplify it.
Yeah,
because that was spicy, and like it was still good. That was like the best instant ramen that
Yeah, I
I've
know.
ever had.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
There's a lot of good flavor. The lips burning.
The
That-
quality,
Yeah, no, I like can't
the
feel.
quality of the noodles looked pretty good. Too.
No, yeah, like
Out of the box.
it was actually
Yeah.
good.
How did you
Uh,
like the variety? Because I know there was like typical regular ramen, like you know, like the instant noodle ramen,
Yeah.
the really thin curly one, and there was like the thicker one, like
You know
the
who
wider one.
I like
I
that
like
one.
that.
That one wasn't super thin like those ones at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No.
These
These
were-
are like
these were,
good
like,
in
right in the
between of
middle.
like pho, because like
Buzz like the thick one.
pho's like the
Yeah.
thickest one.
Yeah.
And then this one's kind of in the middle of
John,
like the cheap one.
How are you
Nice.
currently feeling
I like
after
it.
this post heat?
I'm proud of my time.
Not really.
But I'm not proud of
Big miso soup.
the
I don't really like
caution that I didn't bring into this.
Not a soup.
Yeah.
Unless
So I was
it's
just going in this
I
with a
don't
clear
like-
head,
Thinking it was
caution
gonna
to
be
the
that
wind,
bad,
and I was like,
That's
no,
good.
it can't be that
I
bad.
told you guys.
It was that
I
bad.
told you guys we were gonna amp it.
I was
for
literally
sure.
crying.
And I'm telling
I
you
was
right
crying.
now, be prepared for next week because next week
I
is gonna be worse.
don't know if I'm gonna go for time for next week because dude, we ate those in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's-
you guys,
that's pretty good.
You guys
That's
did
really
really
fast.
good.
You did the mouth sex with
That's really fast.
But speaking of fast,
Especially
we're gonna go
with
ahead and do a quick little fast
Oh, yeah.
poll
They're gonna be-
because
Oh,
We
and
got
very
those
on theme.
toes
Hey,
up.
very on theme with the ramen.
with the
rid of
ramen,
Flareon.
because we have Flareon. Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly
Our
right.
very
I
good
got it.
fire
Oh
cat.
my God, still.
Yeah, just
Is that a
set 'em in
Just
the
throw it
sink.
in the sink. Yeah, just leave it.
Is Evie a
But
cat?
They're
we
like
do
different
have
variations
a
of cats. Yeah.
Flareon
Oh, I thought- I
because of
thought
the
it was like a
heat-based challenge.
That
What
was
do
a
you
fox.
know?
Yeah,
Flareon.
like a fox type of
Beauty.
All right, let's get this thing going.
So let's pop it open. Let's see what we got.
I believe it
Once
has
again, the
3 packs.
Flareon promo card.
It's a
Hot.
very nice. That's a very,
Very
nice
hot
card.
card.
Not as cute as that fall
So
card though.
handsome.
No, it's not.
That we were talking about earlier, but
That's the
That's a
alternative.
cute
yeah.
art.
The alternative art, very
like it?
nice.
pretty.
Okay.
White card at the top.
White card off the top. That's gonna be for the promo.
Good, we turn it off.
All right, so we got 4 packs.
Alright.
That's what we got here.
cute that
All right,
is.
Evolving Skies.
So handsome. It looks like my
And then
cat.
Chili
He's
Wing.
trying to
Battle
tell me
Styles.
to top shelf.
We don't
Not a
want
fan of
that.
battle styles,
Sword
that's
and
okay.
shield
And then
base.
base
Well,
short,
this is a
sword
nice
and
promo.
shield.
That's what I'm saying.
Short sword and shield.
This
But,
very on theme because
Got a sword and shield
And-
themed 10 here.
we have flaming breath.
Yes.
Alright, so how we doing?
Should we open 2 or just all 4? Just send it.
We can do
Well,
it.
hold on, battle though, battle.
Battle?
Yeah, battle.
Okay, pack battle. Let's
Pack
go.
battle.
Pick one. All right, here.
No.
I'm gonna pick Evolving Sky.
Chili,
I'm
right,
mad.
do it, do it, do it.
No, dude, I have such a bad.
Chilling.
Wait,
Whatever.
wait.
Fine, no, screw it, screw it.
Oh,
I'll
okay,
bless it.
Bless it.
Whoa.
Oh,
Give
okay.
it the love taps. All right.
Oh. Was it a
The
blessing?
score
It
is
was a
8 to 6.
blessing.
Or an
Just keep those for
omen?
later.
Let's
Well, I've
find
only
out.
ever had luck with the booster packs for Chilling Reign. All my other boxes have been garbage.
A blessing or a hex,
Hopefully.
we shall find out.
Alright, let's see what we got.
Oh, it seems that
green
John has a hex.
Green card.
Two green
Oh,
cards.
double hex.
The score is 8 to
There's
6,
still two.
and then you know what? Dom is going to be our judge here.
Alright, and go ahead and
Flip
put
'em.
them both.
Was this the
on top
cute
of the,
cute one or no?
over the,
Whichever
over
Dom
the
wants to
table?
go off
Did
of.
you do the things? Did you do the things?
Yeah, here.
Put them
Okay.
over the table.
Dark.
Wait, we gotta guess.
Dark,
Gotta guess.
dark, dark,
Psychic.
dark. Fire.
Psychic. Leaf.
I think his is dark.
Oh, fair.
I think that's
Again.
cheated. I saw that. Fuck.
Ready?
Just go. Just go.
One, two.
Fuck.
Oh. Wait, water?
I pick psychic.
Oh, yeah.
I actually picked Shadow.
We're good.
Alright, so go over the table, and then let's do it. There you go. Perfect.
Whoa, spirit
Whoa,
mask.
whoa,
That's
creepy.
a cool one. Kind of scary. Gordo.
Celio. Like it.
Psyduck. Psyduck time.
Gordo looks like a
Sabo.
rat, by
Psyduck is
the way.
Angel.
Oh my god, that's
Angel.
Drowsy. This one's me, Scorpion. Pollen.
Let's go, buddy.
A rock. I have a deerling.
Actually,
That thing's
Drowsy's
cute.
Reverse.
Kind of a weird one.
Ready?
Here we
Scroll
go.
of the Flying Dragon. That's
Here
very
we go,
cool.
double last one. Let's see it.
Oh, I don't
Okay,
know.
hold on.
Both
hold
are
on.
scary
We have
boys.
to bring it to the judge now. Alright, judge. These are the offerings. Those are our offerings.
Well, dude, his eyes are red and they're very mean. This guy just wants a hug.
Alright, hey, both two good things. So what's it gonna be?
You know what? The deerling is what puts it over.
Yeah,
That's
there
cute
you
as
go.
shit. Alright, that is cute as shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
That's a trainer card, so I don't blame you. Alright, score is 8 to 7.
8-7.
I also think he had a lot more cute pulls too. Cause he had like Sobble and he had.
that's true.
I had
a
bunny.
I had a lot of technical pulls. I had a cheeky little squirrel.
Very much.
A cheeky.
little squirrel.
Alrighty. So once again, we also have these ready for next week. We're gonna do a base Sword and Shield and
versus
a
Battle
What is
Styles.
Battle
We haven't done
Styles?
Battle Styles in a while. Yeah, I didn't pull.
I've never seen Battle Styles.
Yeah, that one.
I think we
kinda
did like
flew under
one
the
pack
radar.
of it, but I don't know.
John and I didn't really like them.
Yeah. So we didn't really go for it. But they do have a couple good cards though.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and
Wasn't
last
full
little
of them.
question before we dive into this podcast: how are you gonna prepare for next week? What do you think?
For the ramen,
Yeah, for the ramen. We got double the spice of this one.
I gotta be a
so-
little more cautious.
I
That'd be very
completely
common.
forgot to buy
I gotta go
milk,
in with a
guys.
game plan.
I'm so sorry.
Because first I was like trying to go on the fly. I was like, hey, we're gonna go with a lot of noodles. Try to mix in some of the soup, some of the broth,
As you're going
and I think I'm gonna go straight to the noodles and then broth.
on. Nick, any
Deal with the
strategies, any
spice
ideas
later.
to help? What do you think?
Honestly, I think you just gotta send it.
Okay.
Ooh,
send
just
it
as
close
fast
to
as
end.
possible.
I honestly think
Uh,
going like just like downing that broth right away
That's-
and then
that's
what I'm
and
gonna do next
then
week.
countering it with like
The
the
noodles.
noodle.
The
and
noodles.
that would-
I feel
yeah.
like
That's
I'm
what I'm
gonna
gonna
be
do
like
next
a psychopath who's literally gonna sit there just with his mouth open and just like.
That's what I was trying to do at
Kind
first.
of like just.
I saw you were
Yeah,
shuffling.
But it's a
Before
mess.
the-
Yeah.
That's definitely
Before
a
the
mess.
heat hits you, you gotta like.
I was trying to get into the trenches. And
I saw that.
Then I couldn't take the heat for a.
So you guys are doing totally different styles next week then. You're going all noodles first. He's going
I'm gonna
all
go
Alright.
broth first and then
battle
noodles.
styles.
And
Battle-
Matt, you
battle-
said that's your
battle-
strategy.
hashtag
Anything else?
battle-
Any
I'm a
thoughts
little
for
afraid
next
for my
week?
lips though, because they're still.
I see. You're gonna need some Blistex
After-
tonight.
yeah.
Little
need
fur
some
beads.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with the opposite with Johnny.
Okay.
I'm gonna go broth
Interesting.
first.
Perfect. Well,
That's
you
hot.
heard it here. Tune in next week to
Literally.
see the
Very
final
Dad joke.
practice before we actually
Yeah,
hit
boy.
K-Dama hard
go.
with
Yeah.
the final one. So,
We will tag them. We're gonna let another
Hit my leg.
So, alrighty. So, we're going to go ahead and end the video right here.
I miss you so much.
Bye, Mr. So much. Peace and bye.
Blink block.
Beep boop.
Alright. So, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, forgot one.
Alright, listeners.
Okay,
Love you, headphone listeners.
so
ASMR.
we want to start off, since we're still slightly on the topic, or just coming off the topic of Pokemon, we're going to talk about the Evolution promo cards.
Yes, we're very excited.
Evolution,
So there were some alt arts with Evolving Skies that were missing from the other evolutions, and one of them was our favorite. It was a very cozy one. It was Flareon's alt art, and we found out where it went. It is a promo card for its own special box.
Yes.
So
Interesting.
hopefully we can get
Is
that
it lit?
It's
on
super
screen. Dude, it's
So-
super cozy.
They're gonna be their own
Super
promo
cozy.
cards.
But yeah,
That's
so
kinda cute.
Yeah.
that was really it.
I love
It's the
And
Jolteon promo.
the promo,
and,
and there's also a Charizard promo that we're gonna.
the Lance's Charizard.
Yeah.
That's also what we're talking
that
about.
one's
Highly anticipated.
that one's coming with the celebrations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get our hands on some celebrations for you guys,
Yeah.
and we can open some up because there's a lot of heat with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, you heard it here,
Absolutely.
so hopefully we can nab some of those cards and like take a look at them
See
on
what
the
we can do.
pod. We
Yeah.
can see them like live.
Absolutely.
Right.
But
That's true.
all right, so next we're gonna go ahead and jump into our homework for this week. We had a very interesting homework from our special guest this time around. So, what homework did we have?
Oh yeah.
Alrighty,
From the
everybody.
celebrity
Yeah. Thank you guys for allowing me to
From Nick.
give that to you guys. Give that homework to you guys. And I assigned The Defeated. It's a Netflix original. Pretty interesting little take on a post-World War II world in Germany. And before I dive too into it, because I know that it's, this is our spoiler-free section, right? Because it's still relatively new.
That's right.
I just want to ask you guys real quickly, how'd you like it? Interesting? Not your cup of tea? Let me know.
Very interested.
I'm very interested, and this is very my cup of tea.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is very my cup of tea.
Jesse, this can also be your dad's next favorite show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
like
Yeah,
Papa
that's true.
Sanks will check this out,
Yeah.
and everybody tell your dads.
Yeah, but also just if you like a good little cop show,
Yeah.
placed way back in what, mid 40s, late 40s.
Yeah.
right?
Just
But,
post World War II.
it was that kind of like LA Noir
Yeah.
kind of vibe, and honestly I was messing with
It was
it
like great
because
it was
there was a
great
lot of
kind drama.
aspects
Yeah.
that I like that this show had.
I like the idea of like them looking into Germany after the World War happened, because in history we're just kind of taught like, the Allied powers won, we helped rebuild Germany,
Yeah,
like
that
that's
was
it.
it. Yeah.
But we never knew that it was such a lawless place. Like
Mhm.
we never knew that it was divided into 4 sectors and like pretty much like almost like the purge. Like crime was almost
Yeah.
legal, and they're really trying to like bring in a police force. So
Yeah, turned into the Wild West.
so that I thought that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's definitely something that I wasn't expecting, especially like recently. Like for something like this to come out so recently, it was, and then with the solid cast too in general. Like, I feel like every actor was like really solid for the drama and what for what it was.
I'm glad it wasn't like a star-studded cast.
No, it really wasn't, to be honest. But like that being said, like the cast that we did have, like was super interesting, and like everyone played their roles super well. Like everything rolled really well, especially like great timeline choice. Like this really like Dom said, this is something that you really wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah,
Really,
exactly.
and I feel like the thing about this show is that it really like feels like a sort of regular crime drama at first.
Yeah.
And then with the twist, of course, that like, yes, this is post World War II. But then as the story goes on, it starts to get more and more complex thanks to like one specific character, in my opinion. And man, it's such an interesting twist, like something I would not have expected at all. And like because of this twist, it makes the show very unique. And
Well, yeah, that's
what
actually
really
good
shines
that
through.
you brought up that particular character. I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah, because that whole kind of spin added that little extra difference to a crime drama, and that's the other thing that I really liked about the show, because like a lot of these like dramas, like they have different avenues of all right, we're following this story, but also this is kind of like the main story, but there's also a story happening here.
Yeah.
And I loved all 3 of those
Yeah, because
avenues
there's
that they had going on.
3 lanes going
Yeah.
on, and then at the end they all
It's
kind of
just
merge together.
converge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they converge,
That's
and
the
then they
thing that I
merged,
liked
and
too.
it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
It flowed really good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
glad.
for
I'm
sure.
glad. Well, I'm glad you fellas liked it. Just quick spoiler-free like summary of it. Kind of like Dom and the guys just said. It is a post World War II show, era, and it shows what Germany was like. It is broken down into 4 sectors. I believe it's the American sector, the English sector, the French sector, and the Russian sector, which was pretty
British.
interesting.
British sector.
Well, English, yeah, British.
Yep.
And the main character, Max McLaughlin, played by
McLaughlin. Such a sick
name. Sick name.
And I loved when he would introduce himself.
Yeah,
'cause you
Max.
just knew it was
Max.
Max.
And
Max
he's played by
McLaughlin.
Taylor Kitsch,
McLaughlin.
who we like a lot. We like some of his work. He was
I like
in.
Taylor
He's Riggins.
Very
Tim
high.
Riggins. Tim
Wait,
Riggins. Big
very-
Riggins guy.
Very handsome man.
Very handsome.
Missile.
Missile. Good hockey
Man,
player.
Man Rocket. He's dude,
He's got
Good hockey
tangles,
player.
and he can grip and rip.
Yes, absolutely. And he's a New York City NYPD detective. sent to Germany to try and establish some sort of police department, police force there, which is definitely a struggle. And you think that that's how the story is going to be, but like the guy said, a couple ripples along the road,
and
also
also
to make it deeper
because he doesn't know what he's going into too.
Yeah.
They only like gave him like the very tip of the iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give him the entire story of like what he's going into, but like they just told him like, hey, go to this place, get it going there.
Not to mention, he took that job for another reason.
Yeah, there's an ulterior motive.
Very spicy.
An ulterior motive, yeah, very spicy reason. The casting, like I think John was just saying, was really good. Every character kind of like gripped you and made you believe that like they could have been from that era.
Yeah.
You know, and they just had like these layers to them. At first, you know, everyone thinks that they're just there because, you know, the war had just ended. But each person kind of had their ulterior motive while they were there, and everyone kind of had their hand in the cookie jar at some point. So it was a very interesting show. But I will say this to the listeners who you know are going to go ahead and watch this show. Kind of dark.
Yeah.
Kind of dark at times.
Be ready for a little bit of gore here and there.
Yeah, which I was not expecting.
And
yeah.
titty.
Was there?
Wait, was there?
Oh, there was just like
there some
a
boob?
very quick titty in the brothel.
A slip?
Yeah, in the brothel.
Oh yeah,
There's a
yeah.
slip?
Yeah. But
It's
not
it's
from a
kind
main
of spoiler,
character.
but like
A little nippy slips?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
okay.
not from a main character. Just from
shows how much you guys paid attention.
like a background.
You saw and you're like,
Sorry that I'm not just looking for
Dude, it's because in the beginning
Drew
it
saw it and he
said
was like,
no.
"Hold on."
In the beginning of every episode, it says warning nudity, and I was looking, dude. I was like, "There's no way." Like,
There's no
wow,
nudity.
come on.
Where's it gonna come from?
It's like, there it is.
Like, it's
They're gonna
gonna
show
be
some
there.
cheeks or what?
No,
There's a nip
verbal-
there.
A verbal meme. Drew
Yeah.
was Leo from the Hollywood store.
Yeah.
It was like,
Mm,
Hey,
there
that's
is.
it.
That's it.
That's it.
Demonetized. I was just like yelling in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
like it's not even Shaft.
Yeah.
They didn't even show strokes.
You can't even see his face.
I only saw base.
Yeah, you saw Bane.
Base and Bush, that was it.
It's the 40s. You know there was Bush there.
Oh,
you know there was Bush in the 40s.
Should we move into
Um,
spoilers
I
though?
love
That's a great segue.
Spoiler, yeah.
That's the perfect segue into spoilers, by the way.
Spoilers, right? A little spoiler.
So now we'll go ahead and jump into spoilers now.
Spoilers,
So, in case you haven't seen The Defeated, once again, it is the Netflix original, The Defeated. Go ahead and check it out. The episode, it's about 8 episodes long. Each episode is about 40 minutes, more or less 45, give or take. Pretty solid show if you're into drama and or historical sort of shows, for sure. It's very interesting. So go ahead and check it out, and then come check back in with us, so that way you can listen to what we're talking about. But again, if you haven't seen it, this is going to be your final spoiler warning for The Defeated. So your final spoiler warning right here.
Ice gooey.
Alrighty, fellas. Thank you, Drew, for that. So just real quickly, and I guess this could have been in the spoiler-free section, but this kind of reminded me a little bit of like Fury / Inglourious Bastards-esque, a mix with the Peaky Blinders, you know, civility of it, you know, which was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But like I said, Max, he gets sent to Germany to try and, you know, start this police force there, because it is, like Dom said, it was like a lawless time. Like, crime was almost just like legal. When you go there, like the buildings and these apartments and houses, they're just all like broken down from the war. Yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Keep in mind, like, women here were given the choice of, like, you either starve and die or you just become a prostitute. And that's how they live. Like, a lot of them were given that only option.
Unfortunately,
so that was, like, a huge problem.
Yeah.
It's usually a huge problem in countries, like, that happen like that. Like, you hear it all the time.
Yeah, like war-torn, like, cities. Like
Yeah. So he goes to this police precinct, and he notices that right away his back's up against the wall. He's up against it.
Yeah.
This place, they don't even have weapons. He carries his pistol from New York, which they find is like very odd, because they're only allowed to have actual like chair legs to beat people with.
Yeah, just
Dude,
like
they look
sticks.
so lame when they're like, all right, come on, guys.
Let's get our chair legs.
This kid, just like one lady's got a real big old pepper.
Let's go fight justice.
Like running around with a pepper grinder.
And I believe that police force
Jesse
were...
went.
They were called...
Just after they beat his ass.
Just
like,
take
Salt
that,
They were called the Scarecrows, right?
Yeah, they called them the
I
Scarecrows.
thought that was kind of lame too.
Yeah,
like
which was kind of cool.
The meaning
but,
behind it was okay.
But
But it made sense because they couldn't really do anything.
Yeah.
They were like
Mhm.
scared.
Yeah, that's why they call
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. They were literally just
They
there
were
as
literally
like
just watching. Yeah.
to watch and
Yeah.
scare people. But like Dom said, there was a lot of crime, involved in this. And our main character Max has an ulterior motive for being in Germany because this is not really an assignment that any person would really want to take. I would imagine. His back was up against the wall, and his ulterior motive, he starts to go to all these embassies, these U.S. embassies and these war bases and stuff like that over there, and he's looking for people, and you have no clue why he's looking for people. He wants to talk to generals, he wants to talk to certain commanders and stuff like that, and you find out that he's looking for his brother, who actually went to the war.
Moritz.
Yeah, Moritz. His brother who actually went to the war, and he's been AWOL ever since. And that's why he's actually there. He's there to get his brother, bring him back to the United States, bring him back to his wife and kids.
Dude, like even once they were leading up to that, once they first started off the show, I was like, why would he want to come to this shithole? Like, I feel like he was either forced or he's like getting paid, but then as it progressed, I was like, damn, alright, so he's looking for his brother. I would love to know more about this.
And I think Moritz is the shocker, the first one in Homecoming that like gets killed. He's the shocker in Homecoming.
Oh, really?
And then
and
then they off him, and then the other dude becomes Shocker.
Oh, really?
For some reason, I thought Moritz was gonna be the guy that played
Jigsaw from Punisher. That's
yeah,
what I thought.
Yeah.
Dude, first I thought it was him. I was like, wait a minute, is that him?
I thought so too.
That
Yeah,
guy's also a rocket.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
definitely.
But no, yeah. So I was really intrigued before they started that, and I was like, whoa, his brother. It's like, all right, like maybe he's like lost somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like imprisoned.
Yeah.
But then
And
you find out he's
at
up to
first,
some
I didn't
things.
think it was really gonna go anywhere, and like that, I thought it was like, all right, because he's like gonna find out that he like died or something. And
Yeah, same,
then
that's
it's
what I
like,
thought,
all
too.
right, so like then like the character Max is gonna take that and then like be like, all right, so I really gotta figure out this shit over
Was
here.
that
and get this
episode
police
2 or
department
3?
going.
Once he said, "Come and find out what I've been working on."
I think
Bill."
it's two.
Yeah.
Was that 2?
It's 2. It's like the end of 2.
And then that's like when the show really kind of like picked up for me. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
So
going
he's not
on?
dead. So he's not captured.
Yeah.
He's doing some things out here.
He's
So,
doing
like,
some
that's-
things.
That's like when it really picked up for me.
Yeah.
I was like,
Exactly,
for sure.
and so you find out that his brother
brother.
is a little. He's not necessarily well mentally. He has
He's
some.
actually unfit to
schizophrenia.
He's actually unfit to serve. He's a paranoid schizophrenic.
Really has schizophrenia and
Um,
diagnosed like a lot
actually
of these
diagnosed,
things,
yeah.
like,
Yeah. He shouldn't have been there at the war, and he's been doing some things. He's not just missing, he's been doing some things.
Yeah.
And he has been hunting down former Nazis who are involved, in torturing the Jewish, people, and mass killing these Jewish people. He's finding them who are trying to sneak back into civilization, and he's taking justice into his own hands and in some pretty messed up ways.
Yeah, like he's like pretty much like I would say 70% villain and like 30% like anti-hero kind of
Yeah.
but he's mostly on the villain side because he's doing some pretty sick stuff, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And it's like
But-
kind of giving them a taste of their own medicine.
Plus he's also taking out the families too. That's,
That's the part
Yeah.
that
That's-
you're like, oh shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
that ain't
right,
nice.
this guy's gotta be stopped.
Yeah, because at first he was kind of giving me like Punisher vibes, and then he taped the chick to a table
Yeah.
that like burned her alive. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah.
I was like, okay, that's like that's too far.
He
Yeah.
meat hooked children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's where I was like, all right, Max has got to stop
Pretty
this
good.
guy.
Max
Yeah.
has got to stop this
Because
guy.
like you always want that like justice, like that Inglourious Basterds justice, but then like when you start killing like kids,
Yeah.
so you're like, oh okay, like
Nah,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the
that
same
being
here.
said, speaking of justice, like I mean, you haven't really brought it up yet, but like later in the show, we get introduced to like Nazi killers, like Nazi hunters.
Yes.
But like in the coolest way, and honestly,
Yeah.
cool.
that,
was cool.
made me want to
That was
see
dope.
more of them because like
Yes.
essentially what happens in the show is that Max is on the lead, like he's on leads, he's trying to find what's going on with this killer or whatever. Turns out he he knows it's his brother. They're trying to go down, and he thinks he's a part of these Nazi killers, like this Nazi killer team. Turns out he's not, but like sure enough, he's like sitting outside of a bar one day on a bench, and he just gets literally ambushed, like knocked out, jumped. He wakes up. on a dark balcony, and 3 figures are just like around him, and they're like, "Why are you looking for Nazi killers?" Like that's all it is. Like that's how they get introduced.
And he's on like a ledge though too, to where they can just kick him off, but they're just asking him questions. Just like absolutely girl.
It's so sick. And then all of a sudden their leader comes out and it's a girl, you know, and she's just like, "Why are you here?" And then the last thing she says before she leaves is like, "This is gonna be the last time you'll ever see me. Like you'll never see me again."
And then, by the way, your brother's here. And he wants you to see him.
Yeah, and you actually find out too that those Nazi killers were Jewish people, like in that area, who are taking revenge into their own hands, and some might say rightfully so.
So it could have been a show in
itself.
Yeah. So did they decline him, Moritz?
I think they did because they found out that like the way he was doing things weren't.
That's right.
Because they said they only met 3 times, and then that was it.
And then that was it.
So.
Yeah, which was it was pretty crazy. But yeah, I hope that maybe in the future we see some more, of that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so pretty crazy. You see some pretty gory things. He does meet his brother. He knows that his brother's doing these like kind of heinous things in the name of revenge.
But I have a question.
Hit me.
Did you ship Claire and Max?
I'm gonna get into that bad. I'm gonna get into it.
Because I was like, oh wait a minute.
I'm gonna get into that. I was gonna say, but like you really see kind of where the brother. One of my favorite scenes is you see where the brother snaps, where he understands that this is what he's going to do, and him and his, Max finally finds his commanding officer, and he asks him where he's been, and he said, look, we went into one of these camps, and there's the scene where one of the Jewish, prisoners in that camp, who literally just looks like a walking skeleton, just like hugs Moritz, and like is like breaking down in Moritz's arms, and the expression on Moritz's face at that point is just like, it's like the split.
Disconnect.
The disconnect,
That, because I believe they go to Dachau. That's the German military camp. And I think the most interesting line that is said there is the general says, if you find him, like, no one can judge him for what he's for what he's done, for what he's seen.
Because they said that his like battalion was the first one to go into a death camp, right?
And that he that they started then instead of just like having these guys arrested, they just started murking Nazis then, and they literally ran out of bullets. And there were still Nazis left, and they found him the next morning, like, torturing and killing these Nazis. And you were like,
well, he said that he was woken up by gunfire, and they were lining up, I think they lined up, like, 35. He said that they only got to 32, and then he said he's seen, like, Moritz kill somebody in ways that he will never tell anybody. Like how? And you're like, what?
And then you were saying that, like, Max finds all this out, and, like, he's going through all this. But at the same time, he's picking up after his brother, dude. Like, he's cleaning. He's almost trying to hide, like, the fact that he's doing this. He's trying to keep him in the clear until, like, he finally... And it's not till later, keep in mind. It's not till, like, the final killing that he's truly, like, I can't keep, like, cleaning this up. Yeah. But he cleaned up at least 3 of his murders. Like, and they weren't just single murders. Like, he cleaned up the family. That was a very first one. He cleaned up the lady, the bike lady. Then the scientist, the other guy, like, the guy who had the acid or whatever on his face. And then, the last one, obviously, that he tried to save, what's his name, Tom.
Tom, Which, he used Tom for bribery now.
But, like, how twisted was that, like, his brother essentially used child abuse, like,
and trauma.
He manipulated his little brother to keep this promise, and, like, you see how traumatic it is, because clearly, like, he's still trying to keep the promise because he's cleaning.
And then on, like, once the story's going, though, you just see him just keep getting more defeated. It's like, dude, and then once they first meet, he's like, Moritz, I can't keep doing this, dude. I can't do this anymore. And then that was cool that it just showed Max getting more and more and more to the tipping point to where we see in the last
episode. And then I feel like
episode.
You really get to that tipping point, especially at the end when Moritz reveals his scrapbook.
Yes.
Dude, how twisted was that?
That's crazy.
Crazy. And it's like, that was like the craziest part, that it's like,
of all
throughout these like crazy killings, that he's like, wait,
Give me a smile.
Yeah.
You know what it
Everything
literally
is
felt
there.
like? It felt like a horrific version of like From Up, like the My Adventure.
Yes.
Book. That's exactly what
Yeah.
it felt like. Like it was just so crazy.
I think another thing to like Moritz just wasn't like schizophrenic for no reason though. Like one thing that we forgot to really.
Oh, I'm gonna bring it up.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up.
All right.
Keep going.
So, before I bring that point up, though, because I'm gonna get into kind of what Matt was talking about, kind of a little bit of everything else.
Okay.
So, John said that there are these side stories, right? So one of them is Max is working for his boss. His name is Tom. Tom Franklin. Okay, and he's saying, these are kind of weird things that are happening in Germany. We're looking for these people. We're looking for this person. Finds out that they're looking for a guy named Angelmaker, or in German it's Angelmaker, which is a crazy name. But this guy's a sick, twisted weirdo who literally is one of the guys that he's using women.
He's a gynecologist. But he also kind of prostitutes women into and trying to lure in American soldiers and soldiers that worked against them. French soldiers to murder them.
All this like information.
To get information, then murder them, which is crazy. So Max has been looking for this guy, and his name is also Angelmaker because when the women would get pregnant, like from that, he would
do the abortion.
Which is like it was a crazy, weird, like twisted thing. So that's who they're looking for, and that's who Max is looking for with his squad. His squad.
Scarecrows.
Yeah, the Scarecrows, and a couple of the Scarecrows have a little interesting beef, a little interesting arc.
I'd have to say, Gab is such a bastard, though. Like
a little bit, but can you blame her?
Like,
wait, who?
Her?
Wait,
Gad.
Gad. Sorry.
Kid.
The kid. Yes.
The guy. That's why.
The guy. Yeah.
He's such a bastard.
But he
like,
was 16 though.
I know, but at the same time, like, even though he got tortured, he should have told him. Like,
this is what happened.
Like they
flat out afterwards, like.
Because I do agree with that. That it's like, all right, because he like gets the torture, but it's like, all right, go and tell them though. It's like, all right,
and then it's how
I spilled the beans. I'm sorry, they are pulling fingernails out of my.
I do have to
hands.
admit, one thing they really should have added, like, dude, like they never really interrogated him or anything, but like, how sus was he that like he was the last person to see the girl alive, and he just so happened to appear when she was dead.
Exactly.
Like they didn't even accuse him. They were never like, dude, like that's too much of a coincidence, and like you're not even gonna explain your hand. Like
Exactly.
he said he was a rash. Like come on, like
yeah.
How did they not? I feel like that was a missing point. They should have been like, dude, like.
I agree. So this 16-year-old boy is working as a Scarecrow police officer in that time.
Right.
He's kidnapped. He's actually walking a girl home who's a suspect, and he's then kidnapped. The girl is unfortunately murdered, and they torture him for information on the people that he's working with.
The Russians torture him.
Yeah, the Russians
information
torture
on the
him.
police, essentially.
Yeah,
the American police side, whatever.
Which is interesting. They're asking him about Max. They're asking him about Max's second in command, who she had an unbelievable arc.
She was sick. Yeah,
she was cool.
Elsie.
Yeah, she was unbelievable. So they find out that she has a husband in a camp. They kidnapped her husband
in a Russian
camp.
In the Russian sector, he's being held as prisoner.
Because keep in mind, like the Russians were like they're ruthless at this time. So like they didn't care.
They want just as much power as Germany did.
And General, I think Isosimov
had
knew Elsie's husband was in the camp.
So he's going to use this to his advantage, and in doing so, he chooses to meet with her. And he's choosing to meet with her, and he says, "Look, I'll keep your husband alive. One, he's sick, so I'll give him medical care too, and then I'll let you visit him a little bit here and there if you keep giving me information."
All right, but the more you count, the more time
you get with him. So the first moment, she literally only gets like a minute with him. 1 minute, like actual 60 seconds. And he's like, she can't believe that he's alive. She kind of had almost thought that he might have been dead during this whole time. And she's just feeding these Russians like information, but she's also withholding some pretty important things from them at the same time, which makes her just like such a cool character because she knows like morally she's going to do everything in her power to get her husband back without compromising the lives of like Germans and Max and their mission.
But did it make you guys mad when she told the Russian guys like, hey, he's like planning to escape,
Do you think that he would have actually been able to escape or no?
I don't know. It's hard. I want to. I think
because
maybe.
Because that was kind of a decent way to get out. Yeah.
She even said though, it's like, hey, like, because I know that you're not gonna kill him because you need him alive because you want to keep me giving you information. So just if she knew that he wasn't gonna die anyways because he wants to keep him alive, why would he tell him? And at least give him the chance to...
I think mainly just because, like, those people that are prisoners, they only really know the areas of the compound. They don't know anything outside. If they get caught once by, like, a Russian, like, patrol, they're dead automatically.
Yeah, they're done.
I mean, like, it sucks, though, because she gets to let you guys killed, but, I mean, like, at this point in time, I guess, like, beggars can't really be choosers too much because this is such a lawless area. Yeah. I think, in a way, she might have saved him. I think just because the outcome is unknown.
Yeah, true.
I think because the outcome is unknown, we don't know for sure. But I think low key,
like it was scummy what she did, but at the same time, she did it for his own good. You know, at the end of the day, and she probably saved his life.
Probably, you have to imagine so.
Because I don't know, like the areas outside of the compound. I don't know, like what patrols they have set up. I'm not even sure if they know. I doubt it. But it just like I guess that's just an area of like no one would really know.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, how quick they are to shoot, you know, like, they would easily just pop, you know, like, I mean, we see it, they did a good portrayal of that when, like, what's her name, Karen and the other lady are trying to get into the Russian sector of of Berlin, but they're going through tunnels and they're doing all this, but the second they get spotted, like, the soldiers were like, they gave them two, like, they were just like, hey, stop, alright, stop, and then that was it, it was just bullets, so it was just like,
so...
It was pretty crazy.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah. So that's one of the things, and then the other thing is Max's boss, his wife, very beautiful woman, Claire. She's kind of an unusual character. You know, she likes the attention. She loves the fact that her husband's a powerful man.
But she doesn't love him.
But she doesn't love him.
I know.
You know, she doesn't love him at all. He makes her feel like a weak woman. And then she's a pretty big advocate for the bottle. She likes to tip him back.
Yeah.
She likes to tip him back. Yeah. And when she does, you know what they say is drunk words or sober thoughts. Yeah. And she does not let that go with Max. She just wants Max
throughout the whole show.
Throughout the whole show.
So weird. Like in the beginning, I was just like, "Oh, girl, like you know, back off," you know, because like the whole time he's like, "Nah, like I got work to do."
Yeah.
Nah.
He wants
up
to get his
until
brother.
like as long as it like up until it started reaching the middle point and like
and
when
kind of like the last like 2 episodes, like that's when he was like, "Yo, I'm kind of down bad too," but it's like, "Hey, I got shit to do."
And I think it was mainly in terms of like him finding out that Tom Franklin has dirt on him.
Yeah.
I think he was like, oh, like
and
he's
then
playing
like
this chick. She has no idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So pretty cool character though. She's down bad for him.
I definitely didn't ship them. Like I felt like Max had like I don't know. He had a lot of integrity like for her.
He did.
Like, she was definitely trying, and then he was just like.
But do you feel towards the end that she understood that?
I think yes, but like it was a little kind of late.
It was late,
like,
exactly.
Like she didn't understand. She didn't like she was. It was almost like she was playing this game in the beginning. Really like
no cat and mouse.
She was kind of going for like the one that was hard to get. You know, like and she kept pushing and pushing. Yeah. But then at the end, she like realized like she really did like was interested in him.
Yeah. And I think one of the biggest things to like point out from that is she tells Tom Franklin like the reason why I never wanted to get pregnant again wasn't because of my miscarriage. It was because you make me feel like weak in your arms. But when she's with Max, like she feels like she's actually like someone.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that was just a big slap in the balls to like Tom being like, dude, like
his own
because Tom started punching her. And she's like knocked out.
Dude, yeah.
I
was like, dude, like what's up?
On the subtitles, it said spanking, but like
there was no spanking involved.
Punches to like the
hip bone. Yeah.
And you could tell that guy was jealous because he saves her life. By the way, like she's about to get trained on.
Yeah.
And then he brings her to the house, and forever, like Tom Franklin sees it and is like, fuck this guy though. Like I need him and all that. Like it's great, but like you could tell he's like jealous of like what are you doing with him? Like and I mean just like he was just a better man overall, I guess. But
yeah, and Tom Franklin's hands aren't necessarily clean either, and that's what I'm gonna get into. The final little side piece is Dom, like Dom mentioned. Tom Franklin is obviously trying to help Max with the crime around the area. Meanwhile, he's putting
dabbling into some crime of his own.
His crime of his own. So Max finds out that there's someone that's shipping Nazis from Germany to the United States so that they can integrate themselves within society of the United States, which is also something you hear about in the series Hunters. If you guys haven't seen that on Amazon, you hear about that in Hunters as well. And which is something that was a theory for a long time.
One of the biggest things during this time wasn't necessarily money; it was artifacts.
Yeah. So this person was being paid off in literal priceless art, and they find out that one is like Beethoven or unplayed Bach. Mozart or Johann Sebastian Bach, like unplayed, never had been played. First edition like copy, like he wrote that.
Also remember the Germans acquired all this because of the purge they did. Yeah. So pretty much the people they ran over, they just took
everything. Art, priceless artifacts, family heirlooms, all that. Yeah. And we find out that Tom is that character.
Yeah, Tom is the one helping them leave, and he blames it on another airman.
Yes. So
George, right?
Yeah. That he also poisons, which was nuts.
Which was crazy, absolutely crazy. So with Tom having his hands dirty, you'd think that Max would be the guy to take him down. Well, we're wrong. It's Moritz.
It's Moritz. Because in a scene, Max and Moritz are together, and then they find together that Tom is dirty.
Moritz points it out.
Moritz, because the greatest line in the whole entire thing for me was when Moritz says, "After the rain comes me."
Yeah.
That's when I was like,
I was like, yo,
I don't really like you in terms of like the bad you're doing, but I do like.
But that was on some like Punisher shit.
Punisher
shit.
Yeah, no, that's I was. There were times where I was like, yo, he's really on some like like being this anti-hero Punisher guy,
and like then he turns into
making
this
people
psychopath.
But he's also like high key like a serial killer too.
And
all the issues.
So what I was going to say was that also, Moritz isn't just like this for no reason though. He doesn't just torture people for no reason. In the story, we start to see little snippets and flashbacks of when they were kids in New York, and they had a kind of a rough home life.
Did not have kind of a rough
life. Once they dove into actually what happened at the end,
at the very end,
I didn't know that Moritz was like Dad could have survived, but
and Max is right. Moritz technically saves him because their dad would have just killed him later. But I mean, that comes with the price when you have to. I mean, imagine Jim did that to me.
Whoa, hey.
Right?
Or the other way around.
Or the other way around, I guess. So that's why that's where his schizophrenic path comes in. That's where he turned into.
So the kids, unfortunately, they see their father on a drunken tirade, and the father and the mother start to get into an argument. The father shoots the mother. Yeah. And then Moritz takes matters into his own hands, starts fighting the father. Gun goes off. The father's shot. And Max is watching this whole thing. And then at some point you think that, the father was shot accidentally and then he died. So you end up finding out that he could have been saved. Moritz just caps him. And then from then on, he'd had this weird, type of shift. And he takes that gun and they go to St. Patrick's Cathedral and he puts it in the holy water.
Oh, yeah. That was
and he says that they need to get the evil out of the gun.
Yeah, it's like blessed now.
And Max, as a kid, this whole time is just cautiously following his brother because he loves him, but he doesn't know any better. But at the same time, he kind of understands that like something's a little messed up here. And that's how you get into the fact that when Moritz is drafted for the war, Max actually goes to visit a doctor and gets a note that says he doesn't have to go to the war, and he can be honorably discharged because he has paranoid schizophrenia.
He doesn't have to.
He should be. Yeah, he's not going to. Max doesn't act on it because Moritz is so excited to go there and feel valued, and then all of this occurs. So Max is essentially picking up for his brother's, mess throughout the whole time.
If Moritz didn't end up going to war, he'd probably just killed his family, honestly.
Yeah.
As rough as it is to say. And then you find out that after he goes to war, he's probably going to end up killing his family anyways, because then he wants to bring his son into
the war.
I know, which was crazy.
His son is also like a 7-year-old kid.
Yeah, I know, and he's like trying to get his pretty much like only brother to like be like, hey dude, this is alright. So the thing that I'm doing, it's very right. It's very righteous.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's
join me.
it's a calling. So
Yeah.
do it with me. And
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
So, quick question: do you guys feel like Moritz's actions were justified? Yay or nay? And then
I would say nay because he brought in like the kids and the
He took it too far.
Yeah.
If he was
Exactly.
only killing the Nazi leaders, I'd be like,
because like at the end of the day,
obviously.
like they don't have anything.
But
to
even
do
with the torture, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, no.
Torture is
Exactly.
wild. Yeah.
So
I
let's
would say
go.
nay.
Let's go. Last question.
Yeah,
and
we
then
are
because
super
gotta
late
go
on.
Yes,
on.
yeah.
last
So,
question and
uh,
and then rating.
Okay, sounds good. So for my last question, and then you find out that Moritz kills the boss, and then Moritz is actually shot himself, but he survives, and it looks like there will be a season 2, depending
Based
on
on
the
a lot of
ratings.
things.
Yeah, based on a lot of things.
I hope so.
I kind of hope so
Yeah.
too.
I would like to see more.
So for me, I want to ask you guys, who is your favorite character in the show? Why? And then give me your rating.
Other than Max?
It could be Matt. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Max.
Yeah.
Max for me. So
Okay.
I'll go first. I would say Max because one dude like that guy's moral values, dude, his moral
Yeah.
compass was
Straight
like,
as an arrow, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but it
But
would
it starts to
drift
change,
though
yeah.
because he's
Mhm.
cleaning up after his brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's just that brotherly bond that like he had, and he was just trying to find him, trying to take him back home, and all this stuff. I don't know, like his character is great, and plus I really like the actor.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But I would say the rating for season 1, I really hope it gets another one now. I would be 8.6.
Hey.
Okay.
Good one.
Very nice.
All right, and then I'll just piggyback off of that one because, dude, great character.
Yeah.
Friggin' Max, top of the charts for me.
I just want to see more of him.
Yeah, I
dude.
know, and
Like-
I do want to see
like, I
more.
wanna see
And
season
it's
2.
and it's because like there's a couple times that like that he's like trying to do his thing, trying to do the right thing, but and like that's like, oh wait, no, I gotta pick this up, and like that's no, and then like by the end, that's when he's like, all right, I can't do this anymore, and it's like I just want to do the right thing,
I just want to
and
go
like
home.
and
Yeah,
I just want to go home, and this is over with. So like I'd be kind of down to see a lot, kind of more of that, of like just him being like, all right, can I keep doing this? Can I keep doing this? But rating, I'm gonna go 8.2.
Okay.
But I want to see season 2.
I'm actually gonna take a left turn and say Moritz was my favorite character,
Whoa.
despite his schizophrenic craziness. I really like his. I mean, like the thing that amplified him was going to Dachau, being in the state of mind he was, seeing everything, and then kind of taking. Obviously, I didn't like when he kills kids and all that. It's terrible, but I mean, just like his character and like where he comes from is very interesting to me. So I think Moritz is my favorite character,
Nice.
and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a rating of 8.7.
There you go.
Interesting.
Good score. Cross.
Man, it was such an interesting watch. Like, I definitely wouldn't have watched it on my own. I don't think. Like, and it totally flew under my radar. I didn't even know it existed. You know, like this show.
Yeah, and it came
Yeah,
out last
same
year
here.
too.
I feel like my favorite was probably Max. Like, I don't know, just really seeing somebody trying to like stick so close to the law, right? Like,
Yeah.
and really build a foundation for the law, like, and setting standards, and on top of that, like, resisting so many different temptations from like Claire, and like you know about the only thing that he felt weak for or towards was just his brother, but mainly because of that promise, you know. So man, like he's just a solid main character, really awesome to watch on screen. Like he had really good charisma and stuff like that. So just great, solid character. And then sleeper character, I kind of liked Karen. Or Karen, what's her name?
Oh, yeah.
You like Karen?
Because like you literally see like you see the birth. It almost gave me kind of like Breaking Bad vibes of like you see the birth and growth of this like villain, like this such an evil person of like she got wronged at the beginning, and then slowly and surely it got more and more twisted to where she even killed like her own mentor and like took over her spot, and like it just twisted so much and more to the end that she even took the spot of like the worst man of them all.
Yeah.
You know, like but more primarily she's gonna use children for her cause as opposed to just women. She's gonna specifically use children. So that makes me kind of hype. Like, I mean, not that she's doing that, but like she seems like such a bad villain to like take down if there were to be a season 2. That like I would be very interested in seeing that type of villain be taken down. And you know, because like she was such a complex character and her character arc was insane. You know, to see her turn out the way she did.
She was given a lot of ultimatums.
I think she was and so many choices to get out. You know, so many chances. But she didn't, and she embraced it completely at the end, which was really crazy.
I think the big turning point was when she killed the homeless girl. I think that was
for sure.
Yeah, that was wild. I was like, damn, this girl's really
that was a
full
final
turn.
scumbag.
Yeah,
especially when she like threw her cat and she was like, "I'm not the Karen you knew," you know, like go somewhere else because she's not here anymore.
Wild,
she tossed her cat like onto the street.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But yeah, for sure that one, and I want to give it a rating of I want to say 8.1. It was really solid, really easy watch. You know, a little bit on a little longer than I expected, but pretty solid.
Yeah,
pretty solid.
And then a correction, you said Moritz killed the boss. He did not.
That's true.
No, he just blew off his foot.
Yeah, he blew off his foot.
Yeah. And then Nick?
Yeah. Well, it's hard for me to not say Max, but for me, I'll try not to say Max. And I'm going to go with Moritz, too, just because, you know, he has that chilling, gripping character.
In a way, he was compelling with his reasoning.
Well, and then I think another big reason why I picked Moritz is that he was weirdly one step ahead of Max, who was the detective. He knew where Max was.
Yeah.
He was always so calm.
Yeah.
He was a genius.
He was methodical.
I think what made him so interesting was that like he wasn't like nuts when he talked on screen. He seemed like he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yes.
He had a plan. He had a purpose. Like
Right.
he didn't look nuts. He looked like he was just
that
doing
like
his
this was right.
He had a job to
this
do,
is my job,
and he had to do it.
Out of all the arcs in the show, which one did you find the most interesting? I'd imagine Max, right? But I thought
like
that's why I think I picked
character
Moritz.
arcs, like development and things like that. All right, so I'm thinking about it now, and I'm kind of thinking about Karen's because
it was
she
crazy.
turned it because like it like pretty much went from like a character that I did not care about to like it was like pretty much one that was like, all right, so this is like the last that we're gonna kind of see of her because
I thought she was a
like
character.
She's
like,
gonna be able to like get out now, and then she kept saying and she's gonna like develop her own like kind of empire,
the amount of luck she had too.
Yeah,
like, she actually legit was lucky,
like pretty lucky,
even with the artillery and the escape.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
That was nuts.
And then because the one thing I'll say like real quick is that this show, as long as it is, it developed a lot of character arcs throughout the series.
Yeah.
Gads,
but she's
Moritz, Max, like Franklin. So I will say that it kind of lets you pick and choose. Even General Asimov, you see his like purity come back at the end when he sees the piano.
I was like,
Same thing with Claire.
I didn't expect that either.
Even Claire
too,
had an arc where she was just like always on Max, but then eventually she
Exactly.
learned.
Yeah.
Very good show.
But all right, so that's gonna be it for Nick's homework this week. Again, we saw The Defeated, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Really solid watch. Really, we all definitely recommend it for sure.
Right.
So next, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the stuff we're keeping up with, the stuff we've been watching, and it's only What If episode 5,
6,
7. No,
6,
yeah,
it's 6.
episode 6, and this is the one where we have Killmonger. As our main character. And real quick before we dive into this one, it's going to be, spoilers. We're going to dive right into spoilers. If you haven't seen it, it's already episode 5, so go ahead and go watch it. We're just going to dive right in because it's an ongoing series. So, go check it out and come back in. So this is your final spoiler warning for What If.
Right.
But again, it was basically Killmonger saves Tony Stark, and essentially it goes on with that, and it gets crazy, like to the point where he kills T'Challa and takes over the mantle of
Tony.
Black Panther, and he kills Tony on top of that. Very interesting, and we even see a sort of flash of like, our Tony Stark, what he went through, animated version of all of that, and this time, none of it. We don't get Tony Stark in a suit, like
Iron Man.
Nope,
no Iron Man.
Not at all. It's just Tony Stark and Killmonger. That's all it is. Very interesting.
It was a good episode. I just now I'm thinking about it a lot more. Like Killmonger was kind of OP with the way he was going through everybody, and I'm only saying OP because he took down Black Panther so easily.
Yeah.
Like I
As
feel
if he was
Black
just
Panther
like
doesn't go down that
preparing that he was gonna
but
just
he
be
did,
there.
in the movie, he did beat him once.
But
in the
at
fight.
that time, T'Challa didn't have the powers of the
Yeah.
Panther.
Plus, he also got
That's
the
also
jump on
true.
him
That's
too,
also true.
and like being like the Black
Yeah, like,
Panther,
Black Panther
it's
could've
like
put up
better
more of a
senses
fight.
and things
Better
like that.
fight.
So
Yeah.
I feel like
It was very weird. Yeah.
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 I would have just liked to see Black Panther put up more of a fight.
Yeah.
That's
Me
the only
too.
thing where
Yeah.
cause like once he like came in with his suit, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, that Civil War suit,
So sad.
I love that suit. That's my
Yeah.
favorite one that they like have like given him.
Mm-hmm.
But I just would have loved to see that fight go.
I
Yeah,
was
and
also
then-
just very confused with Killmonger's like ultimate angle, because like it looks like he wants to get back at Wakanda, but then he
But then he's like a good guy.
But
But
like,
then he
Everybody like
uses the robots against
like,
them.
around the
like-
world
Yeah.
though too. Like he's trying to do right by like everybody that has faced prejudice, and like
But like
Unlike-
at the same time, that's where Dom is saying it's like
Yeah.
it's like, dude, what was the ultimate angle?
yeah, no,
here? It's
and like
who-
yeah,
who
and
are we
it's like
trying to
he's
conquer?
like trying to do it all this, but and then he's doing it for himself though, cause like
oh yeah,
everything
Yeah.
'Cause
like that he
'cause
did, it
wants
was like
power.
all right, cause he's like buddies. Like pretty much with one dude, and then he turns on him, and then it's like the next person,
Yeah.
and but it always goes back to him.
Yeah.
But then he's
He was-
trying to say that he has this very like important cause that he's doing it for,
Yeah.
but it always goes back to him.
because
It's always for him.
Who does
well,
he?
that's why he's
Who does
Yeah.
he tell when he
That's
says
right,
that? He tells that to somebody. Was it? I don't think it was Clave or whatever that
I
guy
think it
is.
was Tony Stark.
It was Tony. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like why would I do that for the people that oppress me? But I'm like, wasn't it Wakanda though that like technically
Push you out.
pushed you out?
Yeah.
So it's
So-
like, shouldn't
so it's
they
like-
just be your enemy? Why is
Yeah.
everyone is?
That's
that
why I was
guy's
Beats
so
enemy.
lost. I was so
everyone
lost
is
and
that
confused.
dude's the enemy.
So like when it ended, I was like, I guess like.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's probably not too high up on the list for me, truthfully.
But like at the same time, like I did like it because I wanted to see more.
Yeah,
visually it was
like
cool.
where's this gonna go?
Visually very cool.
Seeing,
Yeah.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan, like
That
killed
was the
it.
other
Yeah,
reason
he's a
why,
great
why I
actor.
liked it too. Like,
And they
I
cut out
thought,
his
man.
cringe lines from it this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, because I thought I was going to
Hang
hit
on
on
to-
I was like, what's up, cousin?
yeah.
But I
What's
don't
up,
know,
cousin?
even-
and like
even
that
though-
came off a lot better than
Yeah.
auntie.
But even the way he was like talking to his like family from Wakanda, you know, like they were
Yeah.
like actually his family, and like T'Challa's dad, what's his name? The one who passed away, the old man.
Oh.
T'Chaka.
T'Chaka, yeah.
Yes. T'Chaka like took him on like that, dude. He didn't have
Yeah.
any questions. He wasn't like,
None.
"What are you doing
Literally
here?"
none.
Like whatever. He was just like, "Hey nephew, like what's going on?"
Yeah, I know,
It was
and he's just
what
like-
the hell?
and,
You
like,
know, like
feeding everybody like all this bullshit like at every turn, and
Yeah.
then he would say some crazy bullshit, and then he would do a fist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, see,
yeah.
this is
That's
where-
another one. About to get another victim here.
That's
yeah.
where I didn't like I didn't like the episode where so Tony catches him and he's like, Jarvis is everywhere. Like I saw what you did. Well, like so you don't do anything. You just tell him a guy who's a certified killer. Like
Yeah.
real Tony Stark would have sent
Would
it out. He would have
sent
put it on
that
the
out.
internet. You could put everything on it.
Put him on
But
blast.
instead he was like, nah, like this is over. Like I'm gonna report you. And then he's like, oh well, I can just kill you real quick. Like and it
And
does.
that
And then this
actually
is like the
kills him.
fourth episode where Tony
Yeah.
dies.
I know, yeah. What's up with
Yeah.
that?
So-
Yeah,
Killing
take it
Tony
easy
out.
on freaking Tony Stark.
But
He
no,
died for
other,
his
other than that,
sins. Yeah.
overall, I thought it was
Jeez.
a
Yeah, final thoughts. Final
yeah,
thoughts.
it was an alright episode. I don't think it cracks my top 3. At first, my knee jerk reaction was like, yeah, this is in my top 3. But then I was thinking about it more. And I was like, wait a minute, there's other things that didn't.
This
really
was
make sense.
crazy.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
so,
feel
it was
like I'm in kind of in the same boat. I would have wanted to see a lot more of Killmonger in the suit and doing more things
Yeah.
as Black Panther.
That would've been cool.
Because that
That
would have
would've
been
been cool.
a
I would've
lot
liked
more
that more.
of the what if, you know. Because like I'll be honest, like the stuff that we saw, like it was basically like the movie, just like you know more
Yeah.
on Killmonger's side. But it's
Yeah.
like if you're gonna take the what if, like do it the zombie route, do it the other way. Where
Exactly.
Flip it completely
Go
on its head.
bananas.
You know, like
Mhm.
we didn't really need to see all that
True.
like load up.
Right.
So it was a little bit of a disappointment for me personally. It wasn't bad at all by any means. Still a very good episode, but compared to the other ones, pretty weak. You know, this
Yeah.
wasn't like I wasn't at the edge of my seat being like, man, I've totally been like thinking,
Yeah.
what if you know
Yeah.
all this stuff happened? Like,
Yeah.
I would have just in my head, I would have thought, well, what if he became like Black Panther and then he was Black Panther? You know, more of
and
that.
And he's like doing
in
all
particular.
these things
Not
like
just, like,
under wraps, but like being a bad dude, but he's still trying to like be like, oh wait, guys, I'm the Black Panther that you want me to be. Yeah, no.
Pander.
Goddamn
Pander.
Yeah, no.
I mean, there hasn't been one bad episode of What If.
Yeah,
it was
no,
visually
it
very
wasn't bad.
appealing.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't
But this
bad.
just wasn't their fastball.
Yeah,
No,
for
it
sure.
wasn't.
It wasn't
It
like
wasn't.
like Doctor Strange episode.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I feel like, you know, avid watchers and stuff like that, like, saw the Doctor Strange one, then saw zombies, so we were just on this, like,
we're
roller
not-
coaster,
Yeah.
and then, you know, this,
That's
not that it was a
actually good that
letdown.
yeah, like it's like when I
It
say
slows
that
us
it was
down.
a bad episode, it wasn't their best one.
Yeah, it just wasn't their best one, but it was good. Killmonger was obviously, like, really cool. I did agree with Dom in the sense that, like, I don't like the way they portrayed Tony, you know, in that sense, but good episode. I agree with Drew in the sense that Wakanda should, like, in the movie, they were like, who's this guy? I don't know if I like this guy. Yeah, they do trials.
Yeah.
And then all of us in this one, they're like, no,
like
he's
T'Challa
good.
just died, dude.
Yeah. Like,
Come on.
there's no one's a little bit suspect of that,
Suspicious.
like, he
Yeah,
dies
and
and
then he
all of a
just
sudden he
shows
shows
up.
up and they're like,
Come on.
nephew, like, hey.
Mhm.
So,
And Bree saw this one too. What did you think, Bree? Real
Yeah.
quick thoughts?
Really, really good musical score as always. You know,
True.
Michael is very, very good. I've
yeah.
always, ever since
Underrated
I
take.
saw the Black Panther movie, his music for Killmonger is
that is true.
so like it gives me brain tingles just thinking about it. But
Your electric
Alright.
meat is tingling.
it's tingling.
Electric
But
meat.
I think this episode of What If it just went into depth. It's like what if T'Challa had died earlier and Killmonger took his place with the
Yeah.
same ambition.
Yeah.
He just got to do more for it.
Yeah, they should have just showed more of it.
That and they kind of portrayed Iron Man more so like the comics, like as a raging alcoholic. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the bigger drivers. That's why I didn't really look at him kind of like trying to one up, what's his name, by himself.
Yeah.
Because it's something totally, you know, a big dick Tony Stark,
Yeah.
you know, drunk off of whiskey would do.
Okay.
I mean, even if he was drunk off of whiskey, he was in the suit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And Jarvis
That was
is
the only big
also
about
in
the
the
difference
suit.
in this one. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, cool. So that's gonna be it for our what if section. We're gonna jump real fast into our because we're semi-short on time, but we're doing okay. But all right, we're
Made
gonna
up
start
some
off with Kyler Murray. What's this?
Oh,
what's going
okay.
on, Kyler
So
Murray?
he came out and said he hates Italians. No, I'm
Whoa,
kidding.
let's got it. Get Connor out of here. Canceled.
Okay, so
Get him outta
basically, he did a touchdown celebration where he went into like a little meditation thing.
Oh yeah.
He was asked
That was
if
cool.
you know, he was inspired by Baby Yoda, and he said, "I don't know, I don't watch Star Wars."
Well,
Oh,
Kyler Murray, you son of a bitch.
Not only,
What a bigot.
and that's how you know he doesn't know, because he at least said, "I don't know, I haven't seen Mandalorian."
Yeah.
He said, "I just haven't seen
Doesn't want
Star Wars."
Just doesn't want to say
That's absurd.
It's like, I
Kyler
bet you, like they were nice, and he probably said, "I've never seen a Star Wars." You know?
I've never
Yeah.
seen the Star Trek.
So,
So
and I saw that in person, and
gosh.
I was like, dude, this guy's the GOAT, man. Like,
Star Wars.
yes,
right?
let's go,
Yeah.
but doesn't like Star Wars?
because John was
Kyler
there
Murray,
firsthand.
Down a peg.
Oh,
And
Yeah, no,
John-
and I saw him firsthand, and he's not 5'10".
I'm putting you on the clock.
There you
If
go.
if he says one more terrible thing, like if he compares like DC's better than Marvel, you have to drop him.
I got to talk to him.
Nobody will pick him up.
No, it's fine.
Oh, you
Maybe-
have him? I thought you
maybe
had
he-
him.
No.
Oh.
Oh, well then.
Johnny
Johnny
Lashley.
just loves him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If he
I
says
love
one more
him.
stupid thing,
I'm
drop
gonna
him.
say nay real quick.
Damn.
That's kind of
He's
sucks.
really
Like, dude,
Yeah.
come on, be cultured. Like, it's
He's
just
really
movies.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
on the team.
Come on.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
I
this.
would say nay. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
He's my quarterback.
Nay.
Absolutely nay.
But he's
That breaks my
also
heart.
5'7", and we love that.
We
for
do
him.
love short kings,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's name.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's not good.
All right, so next we're going to go ahead and dive into the Flash promo that we got recently. Actually, today, I believe it dropped. So, the director of the Flashpoint or whatever Flash movie, we don't even know if it's
The
specifically
Flash
Flash.
something.
We don't know what it is.
But
what's
the
going on
director of the new Flash movie has teased a chest plate of Batman, essentially the Batman that we've seen. What's his name? And
Michael Keaton's Batman.
Michael Keaton's Batman, that's correct. But instead of it being the black and gold or yellow that we're used to, this time it's Flash colors. It's with red and his yellow bolts painted on top. So, what do you guys think?
And it's
I would
done
like to
by
go
like a
first here.
spray can type of thing.
Right,
I would,
yeah.
I would
It
like
looks
to go
kind
first
of,
here
It looks like kind
and
of
say that is a freezing cold, nothing burger. Who gives a shit?
I would say.
Oh my god.
I would say that's a whole.
I don't care. It's like, what does that mean? Like, what? Like, Why?
Michael
why
Keaton's
are they
become Flash and
portraying-
Batman.
Why are they portraying like
Oh, yeah.
like
That'd
the
be
Flash
better.
is like a freaking Joker spray paint his logo on everything?
I'm gonna say no because like right
No,
now
like,
the director is
they're just
essentially
trying
like
to just throw
elbow
shit
bumping and he's
together.
like, "Hey guys, this is kind of cool, right?"
that's exactly what he's
you know,
doing.
and everybody's
Yeah,
like,
and it's
"Dude,
like,
shut up."
if
Like, what are
anything,
you
that would
doing?
be vandalism.
Yeah.
So
That'd be vandalism because that's
Maze
a
on-
great Batman
Maze on-
logo.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say either Michael Keaton becomes the Flash or
I
Michael
would.
Keaton dies and the Flash becomes Flashman or whatever.
Oh,
Bat
Bat Flash, yeah.
Bat Flash.
Yeah.
Which is that's a real thing.
That is a real
Yeah,
thing.
that'd be cool. But
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
but we can talk
yeah.
about that next
Nay,
time.
nay.
We'll go ahead and dive into the
To
next.
nothing better.
We got some Shazam sort of news, more or less, but it's more so kind of an update picture, which is very interesting because the original actor in Shazam, I'm not too sure of his name.
Crunchy.
Because of course it's Zachary Levi, of course, and then the other guy. But the kid who played in the first Shazam,
Yeah.
he was a kid, right? Like he was very young, very
like a
small.
kid.
He looked like a
Yeah.
kid. Like he was like maybe 12, 13 at most. On the recording of Shazam 2, let's just say he ain't a kid no more.
He's kind of good.
He kind of grown. He kind of a big
He's
boy
big
now,
grown.
and now he's like big grown. Now he is.
That kid looks
So,
bigger than Zachary Levi. Though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does look a lot bigger than Zachary Levi. But you know what? Like, pretty wild. Like to
But
see
also,
him.
like DC
grow-
is
you know,
getting
he's
caught
grown.
in 4K because like this is how long they take.
Yeah,
to
that's
do
how
anything.
long this
Yeah.
production has taken. That like
Yeah.
their actors are growing, their kid actors. It's
Even
kinda
something
sad,
that's
so I'm
not
gonna say nay.
like
Yeah,
I'm saying
too,
nay.
Let's mess
Nay.
up.
too big in their like
Nay, that
like
that kid can't be
importance
losing.
list too, and it's like
Nay.
this is a just for fun type of franchise too, and like they're taking too long with it too.
Kind of reminds me of Stranger Things a bit. I mean, those
Yeah.
kids grew up quick.
Those kids are gonna be
Yeah.
fighting dementia and Alzheimer's
I know.
before they
I know.
fight another Demogorgon.
Yeah, for real.
You know,
But
Nay,
Right.
all
a
right,
lot of
so
negativity on this year.
next,
Yeah,
but
I
then
know.
we got a
Not
lot.
great
We got a positive thing coming up. This one a little bit negative, but kind of a nice thing. The way it went
Touching.
down was Daniel Craig has this, as many of you know, this next James Bond film will be his final. James Bond film. Daniel Craig will be acting as James Bond is his last run. But at the ending of the wrap of the production, Daniel Craig basically got out and he had all the crew surround him and he said a wonderful thank you. You know, like you guys have been around since I joined this. You know, since I signed and since I decided to be James Bond. And he literally says thank you so much, and he even gets teary eyed. You know, it's
Yeah,
super
I would-
beautiful to
if
see.
I'm
He's
correct-
like talking about the crew too. That
Yeah,
has,
he's
like
like,
been on
"Yeah,
with
to
him for
every one of
like
you, like,
5 films.
since I started.
But if I'm
yeah.
correct, I think aren't the James Bond roles like that mantle is only chosen to you once
Yeah.
Daniel Craig became James Bond, nobody else could be James Bond until he's done with it.
Right,
until
yeah,
he's done with
exactly.
it.
That's
Yeah.
so wild.
So, but he gave
Here's a
an
good one.
awesome thank you. Like he had a great run so far as James Bond. I'm pretty excited to see this next one. This next one actually looks
Yeah.
pretty interesting. But I'm gonna give it a yay. It's nice to see the actors really
Yes.
take into account how much
Sad yeah.
work goes on behind the scenes. Like these people work their asses off, like legit, and I'm glad he's very thankful for that and he realizes that. So,
Oh, yeah.
But also
for sure.
a wholesome yay because people would say that Daniel Craig's like an asshole on set.
Yeah.
Once he was like James Bond, dude, like a couple years back, dude, it was just circulating like,
Yeah.
oh, he's tough to work with and all this stuff. And then it was nice seeing that video of him thanking everybody. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah,
Yeah.
he's exactly
Wholesome
who he
yay
thought
as
it was.
well.
He was
Wholesome
Yeah.
yay.
And,
Very wholesome. Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah,
any runners up on who's going to be
I
next?
want it to be Idris Elba.
I do too.
Yes.
I want to be a
that would
Very
be sick.
handsome man.
I think it's about time we have
He's sharp.
a dark skinned James
Yeah.
Bond. Let's be honest.
But just
I think
like
would be
also
great.
just like a
But as Idris-
suave,
He's
Yeah.
perfect.
Smooth.
smooth.
Oh my God.
Sophisticated.
Accent?
Don't bonk me though. We're
Accent.
not bonking
Oh
me.
yeah.
No.
Idris
Yeah.
Elba.
I'm just
Hammer.
being appreciative.
What is he
Whoa.
saying?
Oh, bonk.
Hobbs and
Bonk
Shaw.
John. I didn't
Caught.
mention anything
Caught.
about
God.
that.
It says in Hobbs and Shaw. I'm Black Superman. That's what he says in Hobbs and Shaw.
All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and talk about what's B99. What is this? B99. This
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
series
yes,
finale.
they closed out. That's
Very,
right.
very
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
happy, sad, because I mean that
Wholesome
show.
yay.
In my opinion, that
7
show.
seasons?
Series finale.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad because sometimes these comedies get stretched out, and it's like, man, like I'm
Shout
just
out New Girl.
not interested
Yeah, that's a big
too
one.
much into it after a while, and I'm glad they didn't do that 10
Friends.
season thing.
Mhm.
And it's a show in my opinion that flew under the radar a little bit, and I
A
think
lot of it.
the first 3 seasons are really really good, and I think if you watch it, you would feel wholesome as well.
Dude, that show is just funny though.
I gotta give that one a try, dude.
Dude,
I
it's
think
so
it's
good.
super funny.
I watch it with Dom,
Holt,
and it's
Holt
so
is my favorite character.
Holt is so good. Holt is literally
Holt-
Angel, but like
Holt is
homo,
Angel,
like
yeah.
sexual, because
Yeah.
the captain is gay.
Yeah, and
So,
also
just like
black
Angel?
and Angel's not.
Yeah.
So just like Angel.
But all right, so next we're gonna dive into some Tom Hardy news, some very interesting Spider-Man, No Way Home news.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now
yes,
Saw
it
that
was.
interesting
No,
picture.
But-
didn't.
No.
So he didn't, but he did kind of goof. So there was a picture of
Maybe.
Tom Hardy with the director, I believe, of Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
And essentially, he's wearing a Spider-Man No Way Home
Way Home
hat. And not just a hat, but many people consider those production hats, which are only given to the production crews of those types of films. So many people are speculating that he, as Venom, will be soon introduced to the MCU. Something very exciting. Kind of weird that they kind of blew
Confusing,
the
though.
pooch on that. Like, it's not necessarily like confirmed. It's not necessarily denied.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Or was he just supporting
it's a
them?
bit of a slip. Yeah, or it could be just support.
yeah.
So I do want to say, yay! I mean, it's kind of nice to see a little bit of like more of the Venom like being introduced. Like that, the fact they're gonna
Some more coagulation.
capitalize on this Venom because, like, let's be honest, he's a good Venom. Like I do like
great.
Tom Hardy as Venom. But I'd be excited to see him in the MCU. So I'm gonna say yay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yay. I'm just confused because I still don't know what's going on with Sony and all that. So
Maybe they're just messing
Yeah.
with everybody too.
I'm like,
you know?
yay?
So
I'm like,
Who knows?
yay.
What if?
yay,
Because he's got that cap, because it could be for a little post-credit scene.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah.
That would be a great little.
But
taste
what
of
if he
tea.
has the cap? Because he's literally capping him.
Whoa!
And that was like
No
symbolism.
Big.
No
cap.
No
Because he has cap.
There might be
Brie,
cap.
any
There
thoughts?
might be cap.
But yay though, yay.
Yeah,
I hope
This
I
is the
can.
first time hearing of this, but like the Venom, I only saw parts of the Venom movie.
Venom.
Venom.
Well, did that.
I'm sorry, I'm congested.
Venom.
No, this is like the first time hearing of it, but that's if it's something like a post-credit scene, that would make sense. Now, if he was like legitimately somehow like in the movie, like that's kind of weird.
That would be
That
crazy.
would be like
That would
that's
be
a
a lot.
completely like left turn. Like
Yeah.
that's like I wouldn't have thought of it.
Possibly, maybe the reason why they delayed it and brought it back.
Oh, and they did the same for his own movie.
His own movie, yeah.
Yay! Yay! Intrigue! Yay! Yay! Guys, it's me, Spider-Man.
It's me, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
It's
yay!
me,
I mean,
Spider-Man.
I'd like to see Sony and Disney both stop with the stinginess and just let the
Yeah.
fans enjoy it. Like,
Spider-Man
do it for the
is
fans.
the
Let
child.
that be your legacy. But
In-
no, the money's their legacy.
Spider-Man's
Whoa.
a middle child right
Just in the
now
back.
in custody. Like, the parents are like, no, it's mine. No, it's mine.
No, it's mine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Tom Holland's like, I just want
But I
to be
mean,
Zendaya.
can you blame him?
Yeah.
Those movies are hot. What are you
Whoa.
gonna do? But
He's
anyways, let's go ahead and keep it
Bonk.
going with the Spider-Man news. So this is also diving a little bit into gaming news, just a tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
But Insomniac's Spider-Man, the Spider-Man you've seen in the Spider-Man games, 1 and Miles Morales, but he's not Miles Morales. Obviously, he's just regular Peter Parker. He has been rumored to make an appearance in the next Spider-Verse film, which is the Spider-Verse, the original one we saw, which focused on Miles Morales. But there is rumors that this gaming version of Peter Parker is going to be introduced to the movie world.
Because
So-
Miguel O'Hara is going to be in it.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
That would be
so
cool.
it's
I see
Spider-Man
this voice
2023.
actor that
For 2023.
voices the
Wait, what?
PS4 Spider-Man,
Yeah.
because that's also Sasuke's voice actor, and
Yeah.
it's a great.
I-
No, but like this dude's great, and
Good
he's
choice.
a great voice actor for Peter Parker.
I would
Spider-Man.
love to see him in the movie, but in his like PS4 graphics. So
Yeah,
like he doesn't get
That would be interesting.
like drawn, like he stays
He's just,
in that
like, 3D
3D
animated?
kind
That'd be
of.
wild.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
And
If
very
there's anyone
OP.
that could pull it off, it's them.
Yeah.
Yay! I mean,
That's
Spider-Verse
good,
was
yeah.
so
Yeah.
good.
More
Just make it even
Spider-Man,
bigger, like indulge into like the
Yeah.
more Spider-Mans.
It's a
like,
good movie.
And there's
Spider-Verse is really
there's
good.
kind of fan service, but like not cheap fan service.
Yeah.
It's very
Mhm.
it's very good fan service, and I like it. Yay!
It's in good taste.
It's in good taste.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, cool. So next we're gonna go. That's gonna be it for our yay or nay section. We're gonna close that off. Next we're gonna dive into a little bit of gaming and then close us off. But starting off with our gaming, what is this about? Tim
Tim the
Tim
Tap
the
Man.
Tap Man.
What's going on with Timothy?
one of our biggest,
So
one of the
he-
biggest streamers.
He was basically a
currently.
free agent, and
Called-
Has been forever.
a lot
too.
of people wondering where you're going to sign. A lot of people predicted Phase. Some people done 100 Thieves. good thing it wasn't FaZe. I don't see him being that like FaZe up type guy. And it wasn't 100 Thieves, which is surprising. He signed with, I have no idea who they are, but
it's a Complexity Gaming, and it was actually funny.
That's
I was watching. Yeah, I was watching the stream. It's new.
He's a Cowboy fan.
Oh, okay.
It's new.
Tim the Tatman is a Cowboy fan.
He's a Cowboy fan. He's a huge outspoken Cowboy fan. We them boys, not me, but it's a new gaming organization. And literally during the live stream, his whole chat when he announced that it was Complexity Gaming just kept writing who. And they also found out that not only is he a streamer for them now, a content creator, he's also a part owner. Whoa. Do you know who the other owner is?
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
No.
What? Yeah, Jerry Jones has created his own gaming organization.
He signed Tim the Tatman. And I will say this.
That's a dumb name, though.
Complexity Gaming is really weird.
It is weird.
But I will say this. I think it's a smart move for Jerry Jones to get Tim, because what a lot of people do is a lot of people get introduced to this gaming from Nick Merckx, and they find themselves moving to Tim because he's such a better entertainer. Nick Merckx is
he's a good player, but he's not really.
He's a clickbait guy. He's a guy that's like, try this new gun. It's the same thing as the thing. Tim is more of an entertainer.
Tim is funny. Like,
so much better.
Which the thing is like streamers aren't funny. The's very few ones.
Yeah.
And he's
and he's there, and as much as he is part of the boys, but
Pokemon's funny. No.
That's a tier 1 sub right there.
Guys, it was gifted, I swear. It's my prime sub, guys.
But I think it's a good move for him. I don't see him being in 100 Thieves. I don't really keep up with 100 Thieves too much. I know Courage is the face of that one, and Pokemon.
Valkyrie. And Pokemon.
So they got a good group going. I think this is a good move for Tim. I think it's a good opportunity for him to bring up people too. I know Cloaksy had some rough times with FaZe. Maybe Cloaksy will end up leaving.
Or our Texas gamers on this podcast.
Yeah, we could.
Down?
Honestly,
Get it going?
Hey, I'd be down.
Complexity Gaming needs a Battlefield streamer.
Complexity
Frosty?
Night one fight?
Complexity Frosty? That's kind of wild.
That's too long? I'd rather be...
We'll
I think
take it.
FaZe Frosty sounds cool. FaZe Frosty sounds cool.
Let's start with the new one, though. Let's start with the Texas
I tried
Frosty.
to abbreviate it and it went horribly wrong.
Alright, but...
you didn't say it. You didn't say it. Alright.
She did
say
say
it.
She did. You did. I heard it.
Demonetize us. Hurry.
But I think it's a good move for him. Like I said, I don't see him being a part of FaZe.
And it's great for Jerry Jones.
He doesn't have that like Nick Merckx.
That's actually cool though that
thing.
he's like starting a team. But I think the name could be way better. More Texas.
That's
more Texas.
But I feel like he's playing the kind of long game with
Bonk.
this one. That it's like, all right, get in at the ground floor, and then like they're gonna try
become
to build
a
their
part
own thing.
owner.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean,
that's cool.
Like
Good
I said,
for
he's a great entertainer. And actually, one of the top comments I saw a video of Tim earlier today. The top comment with hundreds of likes on it was, anybody else here star Nick Merckx and gravitate to Tim just because he's not a clickbait and he's so much more entertaining, had hundreds of likes.
Whoa.
And I will give it that. He is a good entertainer.
Yeah,
it was. And I like Nick Merckx. I really do. Like, I really think, and he's a great gamer, but let's be real, Tim brings that aspect of entertainment.
Tim brings the heat.
Real quick, I just found this out today because of a company, another business here in town that I used to work for. But the founder or the co-founder for the FaZe clan, for the Black Ops or Modern Warfare, not Cold War, the other one, the Pro League.
Oh yeah.
FaZe clan.
Right.
He was in town today with
Really?
some other people.
Yeah, we were having dinner, so I was like...
Yeah, contract negotiations we can't talk about.
Yeah,
But no, one of his guys is from El Paso. FaZe, FaZe Santana.
Oh, yeah, Santana.
FaZe Santana's from El Paso.
That's pretty sick name.
He's also in Nuke Squad.
They were
That's a
doing,
sick name.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They were doing some like Q&As
Come on the pod.
and stuff like that, but it was
Literally
like
come on the
$60 to go watch
Whoa.
them, and I was
What
like,
the hell?
Jesus.
Alright, so next we're gonna go ahead and get into MFAM barbecue. What's this?
Oh yeah, just
I don't know too much
the
about it.
somewhere that we wish we would have been.
could have been.
Should have been, yeah.
So Nick Merckx, we just talked about him
yeah.
a little bit. He just put on his little subgroup aside from FaZe is known as the MFAM, Merckx Fam. And they just put on a giant barbecue for 40,000 people. So actually bigger than TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Actually bigger than TwitchCon.
That's the big thing. Yeah.
And they rented out, George Steinbrenner Field, which is the Yankees spring training facility in Florida, in Tampa. And it was sick. If you saw the scenes from this, they had all of Nick's like good friends and just like really cool gamers there. So it was like Nick, Tim, Cloaksy, Cypher, Tfue was there,
it was
Alexia
almost like
Ray.
a festival.
It was like a festival. They just had like games. They had food.
That's pretty wild, dude.
That's pretty cool.
I feel like that might be like one of the future events. Like,
Yeah.
who knows? We might be seeing the future like of gaming events of stuff like that because like. Who knows? Like maybe festivals might even bleed into this gaming thing.
What was that
maybe not
competition?
just might be music, might be gaming.
Cool.
That'd be awesome.
That would be
I mean,
sick.
like,
I mean,
keep
if the
this in
fact
mind.
that it went like well enough to get
Dude,
that many people,
40,000
Mike
That's
Evans
a
and
lot of
Chris
people,
Godwin
dude.
were there.
What?
From the Tampa Bay
No,
Bucks.
keep this in mind though. How many
sick.
artists go out of their way to play with Mercs and Tim and all that?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
have Luke
you know?
Bryan, you have what was that?
No, Luke Holmes.
Luke Holmes.
Luke Bryan don't play
that'd
video
be
games.
so sick.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You
Like,
have
Gas
the rapper,
Spears.
the white guy.
Logic.
Thank you. It is actually Logic.
Dude, what if they put
Play
on a
with
little
them.
show for them, man?
I mean,
like,
That'd be
who
cool.
knows? Maybe because nowadays we have, of course, like the tournaments of like first person shooters, Rainbow Six, stuff like that. We also have fighting game like Evo.
Yeah.
Is like that big tournament in Las Vegas. So maybe like these might be the next generation of like not just necessarily tournaments, but like festivals, like just straight up gaming festivals.
And
You
that
know,
would
where,
be
like,
sick.
And it
you
was
don't
giant
comp- you don't have to
Yeah.
compete if you don't have to, but like
and then what was that competition?
That'd be
again?
sick.
They had a
Pull-up
competition, a pull-up bar, and they were doing pull-ups. And if you got like a certain amount, you got like a T-shirt. If you got a certain amount, you got like a hat. It was like if you did like 50, you got a scuffed gaming controller. Like this dude was just throwing money
God, dude.
at this thing, and that's so cool
That's
to see a
for
guy.
the people.
Yeah,
That's a for the
that's
people
what I'm saying.
event.
Also, I'm
That's
not
what
getting
I'm saying.
50.
That's the people's tournament.
Not
That's the
getting
people's
this.
tournament.
Cypher did like a bunch of them, but they were half pull-ups, and someone commented they're like, not one pull-up was done today.
Ooh,
And I was like,
that,
ooh.
guy, that guy went from fat to ripped though.
Mhm.
So
All right.
I
And he's
give him
hot.
His
Mhm.
respect.
Bonk.
But all
Jerry.
right, so last thing on our gaming bit of news is we have some sort of interesting news that Warzone is kind of tanking. It's kind of leading into the dying end. There was recently a lawnmower simulator that recently I think first came out actually. It was like it kind of had a newer release.
Yeah.
And apparently because of
Yeah,
that
dude.
newer release or
DLC.
maybe just in general, it piqued viewers in terms of beating out Warzone.
Yep.
That earlier this week, Lawnmower Simulator was found having 66K viewers, as to where Warzone that day happened to have 53K.
Yeah.
Keep in
viewers.
mind,
So
Mercs and Cloaksy
that's
did
over
leave, and they
10K.
bring like Mercs will bring like 40 himself, and Cloaksy will bring about like around 10.
yeah, influencers are
Yeah.
really have that pool.
And if they're
But, like,
jumping
nuts
ship,
to see
it's
it.
not good.
But
It's
also,
really gonna
why,
affect them.
why are there 60,000
And on
people
top of that,
watching
so-
Lawnmower
Yeah.
Simulator?
There's
the
a-
Midwest, the Midwestern dads
Oh,
right now
it's-
are like, this is something I can get behind.
And there was
Everyone
another,
that's like Billy Football from Part of My Take,
Shout
those
out.
are the guys that are watching.
Yeah.
and there's another streamer that I kind of watch, and he's not a big Warzone player, but he was gonna jump in because recently they revealed that the new character that they're having is Judge Dredd. I don't know if you guys,
Oh,
you guys
that's
know
right,
Judge
yeah.
Dredd,
Oh,
but he's
really?
the new
Yeah, he's
current
a Tracer
DLC
Pack or
character.
something.
Yeah, the Tracer
yeah.
Pack character, and like he was so pissed because Judge Dredd is like smiling. Like the character in the game, and dude, that's the one thing about Judge
Yeah,
Dredd
the
that he
mask,
never
yeah.
does is that he's always frowning, just straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and with the mask, that's all you see. And he was smiling, dude. He's just like Warzone guy, just like whatever.
Way to continue to ruin
It's
it.
basically a
it's just
Fortnite
like-
skin at that
It's
point.
just no, and it's basically
Yeah.
like a rework of the other skin that we got with what's his name?
Mace.
No, the guy
Winded.
from
Go.
Die Hard.
Imagine.
Oh, Bruce Willis.
Bruce
from Die
Willis,
Hard.
right? Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
saw.
I forgot that was
like,
in
he
this
looked
movie.
so
Christmas movie.
wild, you know him and Rambo too.
Rambo,
like,
yeah.
they just don't look all that great.
They
you know?
don't.
They don't.
It's
And
been-
they
It stopped.
added
The quality
Nakatomi
stopped at the
Tower.
Halloween event.
And especially with this Judge Dredd,
Yeah, for
like
real.
it kind of peaked off that they really don't give a shit about their DLC characters.
I mean, if we're being real too, like Warzone, in my opinion, was a game that was just gonna catch fire quick and then try to burn out quick. I think, but Call of Duty just did a poor job of maintaining it, so
yeah.
it burned out a lot quicker than what it should have. Yeah, it's just like it's just weird talking about it now because it's like it's not a game that interests me, and
Did-
I'll still play it, but I don't really give it that like
Yeah.
oh, I gotta get on.
And who knows? I guess we'll see if Valkyrie Vanguard, yeah.
Did you
whatever.
guys
so
end up
bad.
hopping on the?
Ends up,
I didn't.
No, I
it looked
didn't.
so
Dude,
bad.
Vanguard looks like World War II, like
Yeah.
almost like back to back.
like-
Like,
I
reskin.
didn't hop
the
on
gameplay
beta.
looks the same.
But
like,
I got like a weird like
Even the
after
quality too, like
Yeah,
it,
the
like it doesn't
visual,
look that
like-
much better. It
after
really doesn't
watching
look that
though,
much better.
like
The,
they're
graphics
that scene in
yeah.
The Defeated where he gets on that Lewis gun and he starts ripping.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I kind of just want
Dude,
to
that's pretty
rip
sick.
with
Any-
something now.
Dude,
if that's the
any
case,
kind of
I'll just
attack,
go back and play
fucking
World War
helicopter
II.
there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
Yeah.
Because
dude,
imagine
those
playing
Moan
on that
guys.
Normandy
Oh.
map. Remember that we used to play on that all the time, where like they would push
Oh,
from the
yeah,
beach and like they would
yeah,
push
yeah.
more and more.
Mhm.
Dude, that was so
All right,
fun.
that was a cool
Like-
game mode.
That one didn't
I
even
will
count
give him that.
kills.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, no.
It's called War.
No.
Yeah.
It's called
Because
War.
you would die so much.
Yeah, you would die because
Yeah.
it'd be like, yo, we gotta get Bangalore's here, and it's like, what?
But,
It's like-
but you literally would just push as a group and just die all the time. Yeah, no, that was fun.
The only thing keeping Warzone afloat is that there's literally nothing else to play right now.
Yeah.
But all
I'm in
right.
such a game hole.
Everyone's in a
So-
gaming hole, so
Yeah, so that's something I want to bring up because now it is my my homework.
Oh?
Now that we're done with the gaming news, that's going to be the last bit of gaming. So I do have a question to ask all of you because I don't think I've asked you any of this. But how many of you here have Game Pass?
I do.
I love where this
Yeah.
is going. Yes.
Your Game Pass?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a very different take for our homework this week because we've always been doing movies and shows, but like we do talk about gaming. So
It's
like
true.
I'm going to throw in something very interesting. It just dropped on Game Pass
Okay.
and it is called I Am Fish.
I love it!
I am
Oh my god.
So it is a short sort of indie game. You play as a fish, and he basically is stuck in a like. Think of that scene in
Nemo?
Finding Nemo when they jump out of the
That's-
dentist office in the
I've always
bag.
wanted to
So
play
you're
as
like
that.
in the bag, like you
No.
play as a fish, like in the jar.
That's great.
Like you play as different fish too.
I
Like
don't
you
want to
can
run into
do,
him.
but like you can be. You're basically in the jar and you push around. And it's a
Yeah,
Game
that's
Pass,
great.
so you all can play it.
I
love
literally
that.
can't wait to hear
I
Dom
love
at
that so
4 in the
much.
morning being like, yo, what the fuck? I was
So,
swimming!
so real quick, I don't want to put like
was rolling.
us like because I don't know much about the game.
Right.
I do want to say, let's say like
gonna
if,
try to
it's-
beat the whole
if there's
thing, so.
chapters, let's say try and get as far as you can. We do have a week to play this, so it is it is a game. It's an indie game, so it's probably not going to be super long either.
No.
So I'm just gonna tell all of y'all
Little Nightmares is.
get as far as y'all can get. Basically, if you
Probably
can
not
finish it, but do it, finish it. If not, just play as much as you can because it does look a little bit difficult. But yeah, so this week again, the trailer's on screen, but I am fish. Since you guys mentioned that there's a gaming drought, I wanted to switch it up. Let's
Yeah,
get some
no,
fun.
that's
Juice
Yeah.
the savior.
Little
For
indie
sure,
games.
watch.
That's a good one.
That's-
I'm in
keep
such
an
That's
eye
such a
out,
pod daddy
because
pick. I love
Drew and I
it.
are definitely gonna stream that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has.
So,
Also, let's try playing
again,
Among Us sometime soon. That's
Yeah,
Oh my
sure,
goodness,
that's
yes.
fun.
Humongous.
BuzzBoys, humongous.
It is spooky season.
BuzzBoys
so-
Humongous Stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, down the line.
Okay.
But all right, so once again, I am fish. That's gonna be
I
our
can't wait.
homework for this
So
week.
Nice.
Whether you play.
I
And
love
again,
that.
just play as much as you
I am
can.
fish.
I would say like minimum maybe like if there's chapters like 3 chapters, but other than that like just really
I
play
doubt
it.
it's gonna be that long though because Little Nightmares is only like 5.5 hours at the most.
Yeah, so but
Yeah,
it does look
really
like a pretty
crazy,
fun
though.
like
That's so
little
funny.
like
such a
you're
good-
literally like just a fish in a glass. Like that's pretty
Just
sick.
vibing.
I can't
So,
wait.
just-
All right.
Wait, is that a person like in the water?
Yeah,
like
well,
God,
trying
I'm
to
no,
so
chase him?
excited.
it's somebody
for
down the hallway.
this week.
Oh,
You're
that's
probably in
spooky.
like a bag or
You have
something.
to run, yeah. You literally
I
have
love
to
that.
run. But all right, cool. So that's gonna be it for this week. Once again, remember we are having our spicy ramen eating competition coming up. Basically next week we might have to live stream the final practice because like both the competition and the final one are like on this week.
Same
Yeah.
week,
Because I mean Wednesday is the Wednesday of
Yeah.
this next week is the competition.
It's
Already.
That's
It's on the
what they
3rd.
said.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the
Yeah.
3rd, so it's supposed to be Wednesday of this week. Well, actually, no, we still have another week.
It's Sunday, right?
No,
Isn't
wait.
it third or
We
Sunday?
still have another week.
It's not this week. I think it's next week.
Yeah,
Right.
It would be on the weekend.
The
'cause,
weekend, yeah, it's on a Sunday of next week.
All right,
Yeah, so we should be okay. Yeah, we should be
Yeah.
good. But all right, so once again, we're getting ready. We're gonna have 1 week left for our practice, and then we're gonna be ready to go. So,
Hell yeah.
Nice.
tune in, check us out, see how we're training. Wish us luck. Hit up K-Dama because we need some more details.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
We need to figure out what's going
Someone
on
get in the grill.
at K-Dama.
Questions for the group? Questions for the fans?
Any questions? Anything in particular?
You know what? Okay.
I have
who
a good
do
one
you
if you
think
want
it should
one.
be the next James Bond? That's my question.
Ooh, that's a very good question.
We all
And
think
I have a second question in case you don't want to, if you're not a big James Bond fan. So we're kind of in an interesting phase of Marvel right now, and I do want to ask y'all, who is your favorite current villain of the Marvel stuff that we've gotten? Is it Bad Killmonger? Is it zombies? Is it Wanda?
That whole thing with what's his name? The Ant-Man. OG Ant-Man.
Hank Pym.
Oh, Hank.
That was wild.
That was
with Sean,
That
or
was
like
so
even
cool.
Are you
Agatha,
guys
there's Agatha
excited for
too.
Visions though too? Because that's coming
Oh,
up.
very
That's
excited
around
for
the
Visions.
corner.
It's Wednesday.
A lot of good questions.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Wednesday, my
I like it.
dudes.
But all right, so that's going to be it for our podcast. You heard our questions here. Remember to check us out on TikTok. Remember to check us out on Instagram. And I think we have a Twitter now, too. Who made a Twitter? One of you made a Twitter?
I
Or
did, but I'm just using it for the
hacker.
format of
somebody-
posting things.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, I've been trying to post.
But now we also do have a little bit of a
Content
Twitter, but for sure, TikTok and Instagram is our main ones. Come and check us out. You'll see our uploads and when we post stuff, so come check us out. Other than that, again, root for us during this ramen competition because it's coming up real quick.
We had some great times today. I'll say
Exactly,
that.
real times. Exciting for next week.
Yeah.
But I
See
was
what
also about to die.
But
Yeah.
all right, so that's going to close us out for this week. Thank you so much once again for joining us for another episode of The Buzz and the Boys Talk.
Hey.
Adios.
Were you about to say
Bye,
boys?
everybody.
So smooth.
Yeah.
I heard you
Boys,
say
boys.
boys.
Bye. Love you.